Hello Nafi, welcome to the speaking practice test. I think this will help you in your IELTS real exam. Okay, so let's begin. Do you often go out in the evening?
Well, in the evening, I do often go out with my friends, especially as I like to go out with them most.
What do you like to do when you go out?
Well, whenever I go out, I like to take a walk and enjoy the scenic view. If I get any kind of cravings for food, then I go to the stalls and get any kind of like street vendor foods.
Okay. Do you prefer going out on your own or with friends?
Rather than going out on my own, I like to go out with my friends because whenever I'm out with my friend, I don't feel any kind of boring or dullness. Rather, I enjoy every moment of my going out.
How often do you go out in a week?
Well, if I be honest here, I don't go out usually once or twice in a week. Rather, I go out once or twice in a month.
Where do most young people like to go out in your country?
Well, in case of my country, most young people like to go to TSC, where park and many street vendors are available. They go there and enjoy themselves.
Okay, so this is the end of speaking part 1.
Yes, sir.
I would like to start the speaking part 2. In this part, you have to describe a time you were late for something. Yes. And you should say when it was, why you were late, how people reacted to you being late, and explain what happened because you were late.
Okay, sir.
So this is the cue card. And you have 1 minute to prepare. You can take notes if you wish. Okay, so from now, your time begins.
So I'm done.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to start?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Okay. So as a person, I'm a very punctual, but whenever I have any kind of occasions or class, I try to go out prior of the time, but sometimes my luck doesn't favors me. So for that reason, I become late in most of the time. At one time, I faced late in my sister's marriage marriage occasion, and it was being held outskirts of the city. As I was outside of the city, my place was very far away from the marriage occasion, so I had to take bus to reach the place. But there wasn't any kind of airport or train station available in the near of the establishment where her marriage was being held. So I had to take bus, and bus literally came to the bus station after half an hour. So already I was late. After that, when I was 1 hour far away from the establishment where the marriage ceremony was being held, there was so much traffic congestion that the bus couldn't even move. At that time, my parents were calling me where I was, what I was doing. I called them and explained that I'm very frustrated right now as I'm in a very hard traffic jam. I can't get out of it. And they were very sad to hear it. And I told them that you have to continue the marriage without me. Then they continued the marriage. When I reached the place, the relatives, especially the in-laws of my sister, they were very sad because I couldn't attend the nikah, the traditional marriage which held in our country.
Okay, thank you very much. So may I have the paper, please?
Sure.
And the pencil. Thank you very much. So let's move on to part 3, and we have several questions for you. The first question is, why do we have rules in society?
Well, rules, in my opinion, rules is very essential for our society. Without rules, there will be fighting and war going on among the people. For the rules, people live in harmony and in peaceful. As there is rule exists in the society, there is always justice and fairness is available.
Do you think it's necessary to set up rules about overworking people?
I think it is essential for overworking people to set up some kind of rules for them. Or in this competitive working zone, people are being too much of workaholic nowadays. For that, they're facing burnouts, being stressed too much, and they're also having many health issues. If their proper rules are established for just like limitations of working hours and how many time they can work, they can easily avoid those health hazards.
What are some examples of rules that exist in many families?
Well, there are two primary rules I can tell from my experience. One rule is that coming home before 8 p.m. It is a very essential rule of every family, because if parents don't give children the rule of coming home early, the children easily can get spoiled and they tend to stay late at night outside. And another rule is that I'm going to talk about is that eating together with family in a dining room, because after eating together in a dining room with the family, it helps us to bond more and talk about what we have done all throughout the day with our family members. It helps to create a more strong bond.
What are some rules that exist in schools or workplaces in your country?
Well, in case of my country, I think the most primary two rules are first, be disciplined and behave well to the upper ranks, because if workers and students don't behave well and don't respect the upper ranks, there will be a very bad fighting going on and the environment will be in chaos. And another rule I'm going to talk about is that not create any kind of disturbance in school or any working place, because it could harm the working place and the school classes which are being held.
Do you think that the students themselves should have a say in what kinds of school rules there are?
Well, in my opinion, I think students should have kind of opinion or say what kind of rule they are available in school, because they are the main people, main persons who are gonna be under the rules, and they obviously got to have any kind of opinion towards it, and their opinion matters most to the schools, and schools can also hear their opinions and correct their rules according to it.
Okay, thank you very much. This is the end of the speaking test. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.